Hello, folks. I didn't even know I was going to do it, but I guess why not? I watched Rufus 2. Let's review it. Rufus 2. Too bad it doesn't have like a tagline like Rufus 2, Beware the Furry Fury or some kind of crap like that, but oh well. It's alright. So, Rufus 2. Interesting. At first, I was going to basically tell him how stupid the writing was. Well, I didn't know all of it, which I say it's pretty clever, but also silly, which I guess it works. It plays well. When it comes down to this, you actually have a new person, which turns out to be a cat with an amulet. And at first, you kind of got the feeling of maybe the squirrel was having a cat trying to get the amulet. Of course, I would have so talked about the part of where I need scissors to cut open scissors. And Avengers had something just like it, but they did it better. The fact of Thanos gave the mind gem to Loki so he can get the Tesseract for him, so he can have two of them. But yeah, you see how that went. The way to actually make that work, and that would be interesting if they just went completely silly because they didn't have an idea like this. But the idea is very simple. The fact of there are two amulets. Just steal from the movie the amulet. And in that one, it said two medallions turn into one medallion. Same idea. So we actually want to have both medallions so it'd be super powerful so we can actually do stuff. And of course, another hand could just be the part of where he's like, yeah, and Rufus, the only one who can stop me if I still had this amulet. So we got to get the other amulet so we can have both amulets. They fuse into one and I'll be world mastermind. It's pretty funny. It's like, yeah, that the movie is pretty funny. I swear that if it was actually star powered and had like lots of money, actually going to have a theater release, I would so believe that the freaking guy who is in quotations the animal catcher could be played by John Goodman. That would be funny as frick. It would be so funny as frick. So I do have to admit, it was pretty cool. They actually played around with a lot of stuff. And well, of course, let's do the spoiler idea, which the fact of it turns out that the cat, and her name is Cat, it turns out that she was not a part of the bad guys. It turns out they had to make it even crazier. The fact of saying, oh, dragons exist. Dragons used to be in on Earth. Dragons actually had magic. They made medallions before they left and gave it to the cat or canine race. So technically there's more medallions, but cats own them. Cats own all the medallions and they have their own council of elders. And they sent Cat to retrieve that medallion before it is used for evil, which that's the medallion that has been lost for ages. And they've been looking for it for so long until ta-da. And of course, the same bad guy is, the squirrel, the freaking damn squirrel. We get to see the squirrel in human form, crazy enough. And well, his master plan was actually to get the medallion not only to become human, but also be able to transform peanut butter. Actually, no, it was almond almond butter into something truly delicious. It's so delicious that it will actually become an addictive drug, kind of like tobacco. Gotta admit, that's pretty legit. That's a legit plan. Yeah, instead of the whole, oh, I get it so I become human and I can rule the world. And it's like, but it gives us a reason why or how he's going to rule the world, which is pretty crazy. It's kind of like what happened in Hoodwinked. Yeah. Kind of like the rabbits playing on Hoodwinked a little bit. So, of course, you have the thing, and it turns out that the freaking, in quotations, animal capture from Animal Shelter is working for the bad guy, and yeah, he gets screwed over in the end, but he was able to get Rufus's, and of course, it was kind of weird saying, well, how would you want to wreck one like his, if you could actually get Cat's, which is brand new and not scratched, because Rufus's got scratched. And of course, well, the scratching, which is kind of weird that in the end, because, well, in the end, they had a choice of either taking a medallion and the cats have them all again, or, well, they have Rufus, and then you can actually have Cat as the protector to making sure that the medallion doesn't, which I would figure, couldn't they fix it? But lots of things went down, and then they actually did something that I kind of would actually chalk up to be like a homage to Willy Wonka, because they had a tube and in quotations, John Goodman, the animal capturer, got stuck in the tube. They double crossed him. And then the bad guy's henchman or right hand man got screwed over too. But he did have a cool plan at the end where he was like, I got the catch. I got her medallion. Give me your medallion so I can have two of them and I not kill the cat. It's kind of funny. Oh, yeah. And he actually saved her life a few times. And it's just some fun hijinks to happen. Very, very fun hijinks. Of course, I do have to say the weird part about the dragons and the council of cats or the cat race or feline race that have magic is pretty far fetched, but hey, it's a TV show. It's a kids show, which I'm like, unsure. So in the end, watch it, don't watch it. I would say this actually is a decent watch, even though at first it was kind of convoluted, meaning like, because we didn't know. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't know that the squirrel and cat were not connected at all. Because if they were connected, then it's like, but dude, that sounds stupid. You already have one medallion. Why want two? And apparently he didn't even know the medallions. There was more than one medallion. Because it's kind of crazy. Like, if there's one more than one medallion, then shouldn't you actually hit the freaking cats? Find the freak where the cats are, which they call it a chowder. Find that and start hitting all of them up and stealing their medallions, which I bet might even be part three of this. But still, like I said, I think it is a decent watch, but I would say maybe watch the first one if you haven't watched it so you can kind of understand what happened. Oh, anyways, I do have to admit, hearing the fact of medallion is not just used to transform animals into people, but it also can transform things into other things. That's interesting. Not to mention the fact of once the medallion's being used on that item or food, it won't wear off. Anyways, thank you for watching.